Hello everyone and welcome to the Chef's Table series. My name is Carol O'Connor, co-host of this instructional cooking show. We are on the road again. We are in Dedham. We are filming this cooking show at the Motherbrook Arts and Community Center on High Street. And today we have an old friend, Vinny Marino, chef and owner of the Brickhouse Cafe. He and my co-host Joe Murphy will be making this amazing dish called shrimp Siciliano. It is filled with fresh pasta, mushrooms, shrimp, broccoli, and other herbs and spices. So let's bring Vinny and Joe over to learn how to make this delicious dish.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Chef's Table series, which is produced through the Chef's Table Foundation. And tonight, we're very pleased to have an old friend. As a matter of fact, a videographer, film editor says that in all the shows we've done, Vinny is in the top 2. And I said that's because he gives me the business and puts me down. But in any event, that's okay. Thanks, Chef, for coming tonight. We're very happy to have you here.
Mr. Needy, it's a pleasure.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Right out of the gate. Okay.
The only reason I'm here is because his daughter works for me. And she always told me if I don't come and help her daddy out, bye-bye. So I'm here because of Lisa.
Well, that's
not
good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. This show is designed to be instructional. So what we always start off with is the term mise en place. Mise en place is a French term, but you will find this in every professional commercial kitchen. And it just simply means everything in its place. Now, if you notice, Chef has all his ingredients ready to go. They're all scaled out, okay, which may not be always scaled to what he needs, but because we're going to make one dish that there's enough here for a plated meal. So what do we have here, Chef? This looks like, is this pimento?
Pimentos.
Pimentos. Right. And then
extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Linguine.
Linguine.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Shrimp. And a Bianco sauce that is a Bianco is clam broth and garlic and oil. Rather than do the onions here, not having worked with electrical stuff,
right.
Could get a little hairy.
Yeah.
So I did it all in there and I blended it.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And what Chef is telling you right now is on your sauce, you don't have to make it when you're actually cooking it. You could probably be fine in the refrigerator a couple of days.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You could keep it there a week.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then one of the other things, as he said, the garlic is already in the sauce. Otherwise, you'd see that as part of your mise en place. And many of you in our audience tonight have been to Vinny's restaurant. We all love it. And he has some great dishes. And I believe you create all the dishes, don't you?
Most of them, right.
Yeah.
You know, I have a thing is that if I can't cook it, it's not coming out of my kitchen. And the reason being, you know, once it comes out and once people like it, I don't want no secrets, you know. And I had one of the kids he come up with some sauce for steak tips. So I says, Jose, how do you make that? I said, it's pretty good. So he says, no, I'm not telling. I said, well, I tell you all my recipes. He said, no. I says, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you $100. He says, no. I says, $500. No. $1,000. It's that good. I'm just busting his eggies. $100,000, Jose. No, I'm not giving no one up my recipe. Okay, fine. We're never using it again. Okay, I'll tell you. So yeah, it's a thing with me.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta know how to make it.
Yeah. So most chefs will give their recipes out. You know, even though we're kidding about this.
Yeah.
You know, because...
Well, today, Joe, more so than
Yeah.
before, because they didn't.
Yeah.
Years ago, they did not do it at all. In fact, when I went to my very first restaurant. I used to own a nightclub called the Party Lounge in Rosendale, and it was a great place, and I had Fats Domino and Chubby Checker and all them people, not when they were famous, but maybe after or before. But I used to get on the Red Fez and eat all the time late at night.
Oh.
And then one of the waitresses, Dottie, said to me, Vinny, why don't you open a Middle Eastern restaurant? And I said, well, what would I serve? She said, oh, there's shish kebab and everything. I said, shish kebab? Is it goat? Is it cow? What is it? I don't even know what it is. I eat it, but I don't know what it is. She says, don't worry about it. I'll run the restaurant. I'll do this. I'll do that. And, you know, I said, you know what? After 8 years of having more fights than Madison Square Gardens, I would love to get out of the nightclub business.
Right.
So I did. I converted it, and I opened up a place called La Casa Beirut, you know, and we did Middle Eastern food. And we were fairly successful.
Oh,
we
yeah.
did pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, they have called a mercy meal when people pass away. And so we had the mercy meals, and the guy comes up to me, he says, the food is great. He says, what's your name? I said, Vinny. He says, Vinny what? I said, Vinny Marino. He says, you're not Lebanese? I said, no. He says, oh, food was good anyhow.
Okay, chef, why don't we get started?
Okay.
And we're going to make this dish.
We're going to start with the extra virgin olive oil.
Great.
Very good. As I said, I got to be very careful with this because I'm not used to working with electrical equipment, so I'm not sure of the temperatures.
Yeah, this, I want to say one thing about EVOO. If you're using it, and I use it all the time, I'll even fry with it, you know, not deep fry, but I'll use it for doing cutlets and that type of thing. It has a very low smoke point so that it can burn very easily. But once you get to use it, to me, the flavor, it's just a great, you know, oil.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay.
The thing that you got to really be careful is almost every Italian dish starts with garlic and onion. And if the oil is too hot and you put the garlic in and it burns right away, you'll blow the dish.
Right.
So immediately you got to hit it with one or two things, either white wine or some chicken stock or any kind of stock. But you got to stop that.
Right.
And you know what? If you don't stop it immediately, you can't fix it. So you don't even try.
Right, yeah.
But with this here, I'm supposed to start with garlic and onion, but I didn't tonight because, like I said, not knowing how this is going to react, I would rather skip it, and I put it in my Bianco sauce. So I'm instead of going with my garlic and onion, which I would start right now, then I would hit with the white wine, reduce it. No, I'm going to go right with the shrimp.
With the shrimp.
I'm going to put the shrimp right in,
Right.
you know? So,
Yeah, if you're not used to cooking with garlic, Chef just gave you a great tip. Do not walk away from that pan once you throw the garlic in, because as soon as it goes beyond a golden color, if it burns, the whole dish is ruined. You have to start over again. Most
Yeah.
things you can recover with, but not garlic.
Not the garlic.
Right.
And you know, I would always suggest don't even try, because
Right,
you know you're going to just waste your time.
right.
But actually, I'm more comfortable in the boxing ring than I am standing here cooking in front of people.
Really.
He would be a perfect opponent. He's blind. At my age, that's all I think I can go with. You know?
That's it. Keep dumping on the co-host. My daughter will straighten you out tomorrow.
I know. I'll pay. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Okay. So
I told you
anyways,
vodka. This is water.
that's right. It is water.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to let you get too far out of control.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
in cooking, also remember, if you have multiple ingredients, just think through that recipe for a moment, because some things take a little bit longer than other things. So Chef started with the shrimp, all right? And you're going to get that to a pink,
I'm going to get it to be pink, yeah.
and then what, flip it over?
I'm going
or-
to flip it over.
Right.
And like I say, not knowing how this reacts to select, I just got it
Right.
on low. I'm going to have to, it's going to take a little longer than it would normally would with a gas, which I could adjust. But I can't see this, so I don't know.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
But you know, one of the other things is you don't have to overcook. A lot of people think, oh, you know, it's got to be really well done because it's not. But it doesn't have to be, because what you're going to do is you're going to flip this, and as you're cooking it, I'm adding my other stuff, it's still cooking.
Right.
So a lot of people, the mistake they make is they cook the shrimp or any product,
Right.
before they start this. You don't have to. You shouldn't do that. You should be adding this as it's all cooking and all your flavors blend in together.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
and you're a lot better off.
Now, Chef just gave you a great tip. You know, if you go to a great restaurant like the Brickhouse, you say, gee, I wish I could do that. Chef Vinny was just telling you, it's about building flavors, one on top of the other. And don't be afraid of a hot pan. I know Chef is being a little cautious tonight, but if you were in a professional kitchen, those pans are smoking for a number of reasons. Caramelization, which is flavor, but also they're trying to get your meal out in a timely manner.
Good point, Joe. In the Brickhouse, we got a very, very, very small kitchen, and we seat about 80 people. And some nights we'll do 5 turns, and
Wow.
it's really hectic with that small kitchen. Every one of our burners, 10 burners, has got a pan on it all the time, hot as anything. And as soon as they go to put their part, the oil will start right away. So it's boom, 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 boom. So you got to be like lightning with the stock or the wine to stop that.
Yeah.
Like I say, everything is garlic and onions, just about everything, you know.
Right.
So he just turned this up for me, and so now it's got a nice bubbly.
Yeah,
so this is just olive oil.
Right.
And so you would normally be using garlic and oil, but I got it in there today. And a lot of guys throw butter in it. I prefer when I don't, but I'll tell you, butter never hurts.
But
it makes it better. It
well,
really
I'll
does.
tell you, butter
Yeah.
in a professional kitchen
Yeah.
is used when you finish your sauce, it gives it that nice shiny effect, as well as it does give you another level of flavor. But Vinny is very health conscious, so I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
why you don't like butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I used to do fast food, health food restaurants back in the 70s before it was in vogue, and so that's how I got it. I don't eat anything white, including Italian bread, all multi-grain bread, multi-grain pasta.
Now, Chef,
wheat
can I
pizza.
ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want, Joe.
Thank you. In your restaurant, on your menu, do you have healthy choices
I
on
do.
there? You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's great.
I even have a couple with the calories and all that other stuff.
Oh, good.
I think there's a haddock dish. It's the most healthy one with the calories and everything on it. It's got a
Excellent.
little heart beside it.
Yeah.
You know?
You'll see a lot of restaurants now, they have healthy choices. And, you know, some people are wheat intolerant, obviously
Yeah.
peanut, nut intolerant.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised that more restaurants don't give
Right.
it, more of them choices, In fact, I went all the way to San Francisco to find a multi-grain bread that I thought was not good, great. And believe me, if you ever come there and you have the multi-grain bread, I'm sure you'll agree. It's that good.
Why didn't you take me?
No, I can't afford you. But the other thing that I checked out down there was sourdough. I could never find out why we couldn't make sourdough the way they do in San Francisco. And I researched it, I found out it was the atmosphere in San Francisco. I never knew that. So I had to make a connection in San Francisco, and I did. I ended up getting hold of a purveyor that got stuff from San Francisco. I connected with this bakery called LaBrey, L-A space capital B-R-E-Y, LaBrey, and I get my sourdough bread and my multi-grain bread there. Oh, actually, it's whole grain,
Yeah,
I love
great.
it. I love it.
Great.
It's really good.
Great.
So right now, this is bubbling. The mushrooms are starting to caramelize.
Mm-hmm.
If like I say, most guys would throw a pat of butter in that.
Right,
But
right.
like I say, I'm a little reluctant to, but it wouldn't hurt. But we're gonna hit it with
already?
the Bianco sauce now.
Okay, great.
So, like I say, I've done all this. You guys would not be doing this. You'd probably be doing it one by one with the Bianco sauce, and which is basically clam juice, garlic, onion, all.
Do you do
pulsified.
white wine or?
White wine's in there too. White wine, clam broth.
Right.
Yeah.
But you cook off the wine first. So if you're a beginner home cook, you know, just cook that alcohol off first, and you can tell by the smell once the alcohol leaves.
It'll go away immediately, you know.
Right.
In fact, if you put the wine in and it doesn't flame up, you should basically tip your pan, let it hit that,
Right.
and flame it, because you do want to get the alcohol out of there.
Right.
Because if you don't do that and the alcohol's in there and the wine, it's not going to taste right.
Right.
You know, it's gonna.
Yeah, so Chef just gave you a great tip. I would caution you on tipping that pan up. Just remember, you're going to get a blast of flame, so be sure that you have a great either tile or something on the wall so that that flame isn't going to explode. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. All
Well,
right,
one of the
Chef.
good things about a dish like this here, this is called shrimp Siciliano. See. So what it is mushrooms, broccoli,
Right.
roasted red peppers, you know, and linguine.
Right.
Now, you can always change it up a little bit. You can throw chopped tomatoes in there. I mean, this is something I do all the time. Some nights I'll run a special and it'll be chicken and shrimp Siciliano. And the chicken, you can grill it, you can saute it, you can fry it with breading. So you have chicken and shrimp. Another night you might want to throw some clams in there. All you got to do is take the clam, put it right in that sauce. Wait till the clam opens up, boom, serve it. Simple, very, very easy. So you get shrimp and chicken and clams. I mean, you can make all kinds of combinations of this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
And
it's-
that's one thing, Chef, I like to talk about.
Yeah.
Remember, culinary arts, it is an art form. You know, everybody has a little bit different taste and a different palate. And if you know your family may like a hot type sauce, then you have free license. Use salt, don't use salt, add chicken, as Chef just told you. And one thing about Italian cooking, which is my favorite cuisine, is fresh products. Italians generally will use fresh. And they're simple ingredients, but they just bring out the most incredible flavors. So
Yeah.
thank you for your heritage.
Talking about, well, speaking of heritage, I'm up at the restaurant last Sunday, and Tom Menino's up there with 3 other guys, and he introduced me, and he said, "This is Vinny Marino." So the guy says, "Hey, Vinny," he says, "where's your family from in Italy?" And I said, "Oh, they're from Sicily." And he says, "Oh, I thought you were Italian." I said, "I thought so too." But apparently people think different. So I was just over Vincenzo's this afternoon, who was cooking up the rest of the stuff for us, and I was telling him, and he thought it was a riot. They're Calabrese, you know. But I don't know. I guess Sicilians aren't Italians.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Now, what about the
We're gonna throw the
pimento?
pimentos. That's the last thing. This is all.
Okay,
This
great.
is very good.
Okay.
We're in good shape. You want to try and do this?
Yeah, sure.
We'll do it with that scoop you got.
Yeah, I can use this
Okay.
for now. Okay.
Yeah, right with this.
Yeah, it's all right.
No?
That was fine.
Okay.
Either way, I'm a professional.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
And what did you need me here for? I could have been at work.
because you're a good chef,
Oh,
an
okay.
excellent top chef,
Yeah.
and we love you. That's
I'm
why.
not a chef, by the way. I'm a cook. I've had executive chefs that come into my restaurant, and it never worked out.
Yeah.
They want to change the meatballs. They want to change the marinara. I'm a simple guy that uses fresh ingredients. Now I need that out, buddy.
Okay.
I don't know why
Well,
why you didn't just leave it alone.
Well, because I was going to say
You're a pain
something,
in the butt.
but you kept talking.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
in here.
just so you know, if you have a busy schedule during the week, there's nothing wrong with bringing this pasta, cooking it a couple of days in advance, and then bringing it just before al dente. And then what you can do is what Chef just did.
Just
He
shock
shock it, okay? And don't forget, at home, a good chef always finishes his pasta in the sauce, because that sauce is good and hot, and so that you don't wind up with a mushy pasta. Get it out when it's al dente or just before, and then finish it like Chef is doing in the sauce right now.
Yeah. And You know, the other thing is when you're cooking in the restaurant, that water that we keep going and we keep,
Right.
you know, dipping in, it's starchier and starchier and starchier, and actually more and more flavorful. It really is. At the end of the night, it's better than the beginning of the night.
Right,
You know?
yeah. Now, one thing we generally talk about, and I've taken a little breather, but I'm going to mention it here again tonight. In a professional kitchen, you will not find table salt. They will either use kosher salt or sea salt. Reason being is kosher salt, sea salt is a much larger crystal. It's a lot easier to control your portion. I firmly believe even on the kosher salt, it has a much better flavor profile than your table salt, but also by volume, not by weight. If you have a cup of kosher or sea salt next to a cup of table salt, your sodium content is reduced dramatically. Okay? So keep that in mind. And I go back again to what I just said about the flavor profile. I feel is much nicer with a good kosher or a sea salt. You don't need as much salt. You don't, if you're on a restricted diet with sodium, the larger crystal is a better way to go. All right, chef.
And as you know, you're not supposed to use grated cheese with any fish in an Italian restaurant.
Right.
No one listens to us. Everybody wants cheese.
Right. We had a couple of years ago the corporate chef from Sal's or Salvatore's restaurant chain on, and I said, "Chef, we're going to put cheese. Are you crazy? You never put cheese on fish." Okay. We had the corporate chef from the Strega group, and he is from Sicily as well. Fabulous chef. And just trying to make a point and tease him, I said, "Chef, where's the cheese? You never put cheese on fish." And Giuseppe Musto, who agreed to prepare this dish tonight, I asked him, I said, "Joe, do you going to put little cheese?" You never put, so that's an Italian thing. Fish is delicate, you don't need cheese.
Yeah, I know, but the customer's paying and they want cheese, you get cheese.
Right.
That's the bottom line. We're down the north end one day, and my friend insists on cheese, and the lady comes over and he says, "Here," and he gives her a sawbuck, and she says, "My job is worth more than $10. Because if I give you this cheese, that chef will fire me." And the chef was a woman from Naples.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
oh well.
Yeah, and some really top Italian chefs, they will, on a fish, they will only use sea salt because they want that seamless flavor. You will get some bit of an ocean flavor with sea salt, and that just complements the fish that much more.
Oh my God, this looks almost good enough to eat, Joe.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm
And
sure
me and
it is.
Jonathan went down and got a slice of pizza at the Creek restaurant down the square.
Oh, my God.
Now my taste buds are up. If you got
Okay.
a little,
Sure.
we'll get a little.
Yeah.
So we usually have a towel right in my back pocket, so
Right.
we always do this,
Yeah.
and then we'll sprinkle a little parsley or basil. Actually, I had some basil. I don't know what happened with it.
Okay.
Did you steal it?
No, I think one of your guests ate it.
Okay. All right. Whatever. So
Okay.
this is it.
That's great.
That's the shrimp Siciliano.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people that I talk to about the Brickhouse, and I'll say, "Have you been there?" "Oh my God, you go there, you can't finish what's on the plate." So you get a great meal there, that's for sure. And you get a great personality with you, Vinny, all kidding aside.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Well, my daughter asked me to say
right.
that. You were a little down the past week, and, so I'm just trying to cheer you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brickhouse is a small place, and we are busy every night. So about 2 weeks ago, 6 guys come down from the north end that I know at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. You got a table for us, Vinny? No. There's like an hour and a half wait. Vinny, it's me, Louie. Louie, it's me, Vinny. I can't, where am I going to see you? There's a bench out front.
Yeah.
That's where they sat. That's where they got their food. Who comes out on a Saturday night without making a reservation? Only guys from the North End.
Right. Well, Vinny, this is a great dish.
Yeah,
I've
it is.
actually had this. And, you know, I didn't mention this, but I think I have a minute or so. The very first show we did 2.5 years ago, Vinny was the chef for our first show. And this is your 4th time, I believe, on the show. And we always have a great time with him, and his food is exceptional. So thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
Thank you for having my daughter keep you in line
Is
and
your daughter
getting
coming
you
to work
here.
tomorrow, I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to check that out. Okay. Well, thank you. This has been another show from the Chef's Table series. If you want to rewatch this show and actually get the restaurant, you want to cook with the chef, get your laptop, go on the website, which is the chefstableseries.tv. You'll have your recipe. You can watch the chef, follow his tips, and we hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching.
Good job, Joe.
Thanks, Vinny. Great job.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's wine pairing. I'm Carol O'Connor. I'm here with John Paul Kaminga. He is the wine sommelier and wine manager at Blanchard's Wines and Spirits in Jamaica Plain. Today I gave him the task to find a wine that would pair very well with Vinny Marino's Shrimp Siciliano. Vinny is from the Brickhouse Cafe in Dedham. So John Paul, what did you choose today? I see that it's clear in a green bottle, so it's white,
Yep,
right?
it's white. It's a Greco from Campania. So this comes from a larger area, which
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
qualify it as Greco de Tufo, but Greco's the grape.
Okay, Greco's the grape. Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
I was just going to ask him that. What's Greco?
It probably refers to the fact that it was brought over by the Greeks a very, very long time ago. It's a southern Italian wine, and in southern Italy there's a very large and ancient Greek influence. And who knows, maybe they just think it came from Greece at some point, or maybe it never did, but that's the idea anyways. It's one of the indigenous grape varieties down there, or thought of indigenous now anyways. And I thought it would go well with the dish because that dish just says southern Italy to me. All those flavors, the red peppers, the broccoli, the shrimp, that's not a dish you would find in northern Italy. That's something you would find probably in Campania, in Naples, or
Yep, I can see.
maybe
Yep.
Sicily. Or so.
Well, and that's where the recipe's from. It's from Vinny's Sicilian family. So
Okay,
good
perfect.
job
There
on
we
that
go.
one.
So those are the reasons I thought it might go with the dish. You want to give it a try and
Yeah.
see what we think?
Yeah, let's see what the scent is. Oh, beautiful color.
Yeah, it's a little darker, maybe than your average white wine. Kind of a golden yellow color.
The swirl.
Yeah, the swirl. Yeah, and it's a lot, like a lot of other Grecos, has this really kind of exuberant, fruity, kind of stone fruit character, almost like peaches and melons and.
Yes, it's definitely fruity. Tart or sweet?
Well, kind of toes the line.
It does. I like my cheeks pucker on it.
Yeah,
But then I
there-
found
you know-
a nice sweetness to it.
It's very fruity, but the acidity is low, so you don't get a lot of really tart, citrusy flavors. Again, it's more those kind of soft, ripe fruit flavors, and there's a little kind of mineral flavor to it that keeps it clean and fresh on the finish. But it's not a very mineral wine. It's more focused on the fruit.
Right.
But still, you can imagine well chilled. This is, going to be really refreshing, perfect for shrimp and.
That's the word, refreshing. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it won't. And I can definitely see it going well with the shrimp. It's not going to overpower it. And even though the shrimp dish does have a lot of ingredients, it's not that spicy. So I feel like these will, the wine and the dish would meld well together.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the audience will love it.
Cool.
Definitely. But John Paul, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
picking a great wine. And I feel like it's a wine that you can enjoy on its own.
Yeah, be pretty good on its own too.
Yeah,
nice
perfectly.
summer wine. Or actually, it's got some weight. You could even drink it throughout the winter.
Yeah,
Honestly, there's no reason not to drink whites and rosés in the winter. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good tip. Perfect. Okay, everyone, this has been this week's wine pairing for Vinny Marino's Shrimp Siciliano, and we will see you next week with John Paul for the wine pairing of the week.
Hi folks, Steve LaCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro in Westwood, coming at you with this week's chef's tip. This week I just want to talk about an easy way to get pomegranate seeds out of the pomegranate. I remember when we were kids and we used to call these Chinese apples, and we used to quarter them like that, and then we sat around the table, and I think maybe my parents did it on purpose to keep us out of trouble and keep us occupied for a while. And we would just take teaspoons and try to pick out through all this membrane that's completely throughout a pomegranate. I love pomegranates, great winter use. You'll see them around all the time. They make beautiful holiday decorations, but they are naturally loaded with antioxidants. It's one of the healthiest fruits you can eat. But they have a nice tartness to them and a nice crunch to them too. And I like to contrast in things like salads with goat cheese, where you have a soft goat cheese. You have a nice contrast to that with the crunch from and the tartness of the pomegranate. We also tend to use it a lot on duck dishes or chicken dishes with maybe a sweet glaze, something with like honey and molasses or maple. You've got all that sugar going on that, so you want something tart to slice through that and balance out that dish. So pomegranate seeds seem to be perfect for that. But anyway, back to the original point. How do I get all those seeds out of there without spending half my life doing so? I just cut it in half horizontally. Put your hand over a bowl, and just like the kid you wanted to keep occupied for hours getting those seeds out, give it a good spanking with a heavy kitchen spoon. And you'll see mostly just seeds come out of there. And to get the rest, just keep banging on it with that spoon, and they will come out like that, and you'll have a bowl full of these before you know it. Steve LaCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro, and that's this week's chef's tip.
Hi, I'm Margery Gann, and I work at Ethos in Jamaica Plain, and we're an organization that serves elders and people of all ages with disabilities. I'm a registered dietitian, a wife and a mom, and I've been doing it for 30 years, so I have some practical ideas on how to bring good nutrition into your home. And one of the bases of good nutrition is portion size. And the other day, I had that whole concept brought home to me because I was making a recipe that called for 2 cups of flour. Same recipe that I've made forever, except this time I was making it from a 1950s cookbook where it told me that the yield was going to be 12 scones, whereas my 1980s cookbook recipe said it was going to yield 8. That's a pretty big difference in portion size. So I started thinking, well, that really is one of our problems in the US. So I want to talk a little bit about what portion sizes are and how we can affect them. So if we look at soda or tonic, if you happen to be from Massachusetts, we can buy a 90-calorie can, we can buy a 12-ounce 140-calorie can, or the 12-ounce 140-calorie bottle. Now what's really interesting is that if you look at the 12-ounce can and the bottle, which are really the same size, they really don't look the same. I think that, frankly, in my opinion, the bottle looks bigger. If you're buying the very large bottle, the serving size on the back is 12 ounces, so the same as the can and the larger bottle. And that really goes back to what is a portion size. The FDA has determined that 12 ounces is in fact the portion size for soda. But when it comes in a smaller single serving can, you actually use the single can as the serving size. So a little bit confusing? Absolutely. But it does make a difference because we're talking 50 calories here. Does it sound like a lot? Maybe not, but if you're someone who's drinking, say, 4 cans a day, which is not unusual, that's pretty significant. Another example of how you can get helped in the portion category is you can buy your animal crackers in the large category. Now this holds 65 servings. I don't know about you, but I have a terrible time figuring out what 1/65 is of anything. This is actually what 1/65 looks like. It's actually 28 animal crackers. Or you have the option of buying a single serving packet. These are about the same number of calories, about 110, 120. And this one's certainly easier to watch your calories. You take one out of the package, there it is, ready to go. Here, the temptation is, of course, to increase the number of cookies. So when it comes to cookies, 1 ounce as a serving size. When it comes to meat, which, by the way, meats are not labeled for a serving size because they're a fresh food, we're looking at the size of a deck of cards. So here we have a deck of cards. You can see it's about, 3.5 to 4 inches by about 3/4 of an inch. The other way to think of that is palm of your hand and about that thick. Fruits and vegetables, as fresh foods, don't come with portion sizes either. But if you look at the nutrition facts, they're going to come with about 1/2 cup or 100 grams. If we were going to weigh this apple, we'd find that an apple this size, which is pretty typical, actually weighs exactly right on the mark, 200 grams. Most of us would never consider this apple to be 2 servings, but it is. And by the way, this is rice, serving size of 1/2 cup. Not very much. Most people would go, where's the rest? But if you're looking then at what the government says servings should be, currently the government uses something called My Plate. My Plate is trying to wean us away from animal foods. So here's the dairy, small, the protein, which is small, a lot of vegetables, fruits, and grains. Well, what does this mean? There's no serving size here. So for that, we can go back to the pyramid. And the pyramid is probably the last one that the federal government issued. And here we're talking how many servings. So we could be talking for the base of the pyramid, 6 to 11 servings of grains. Well, people will say, well, I couldn't possibly eat 11. Well, we're not talking 11 large servings. We're talking something the equivalent of the 1/2 cup of rice, a small slice of bread, and so on. And again, it keeps going up with what is a serving. So if you're going to utilize these tools, which by the way are available on the web, you'll find that you really need that background of what's a serving. So I hope I've helped you today understand what a serving is. I'm Margery Gann. Thanks for joining us here at the Chef's Table series, and that's your healthy nutrition tip for today. Hi, I'm Margery Gann, and I work at Ethos in Jamaica Plain. We work with elders and people of all ages with disabilities, and we provide, among other services, home-delivered meals, community cafes, and in-home nutrition consultation services. I'm a registered dietitian, wife and mom for over 30 years, and in that time I've learned some pretty good ways of getting my family to eat well, and I hope I can relay those to you as well. And today I want to talk about greens, particularly dark green leafy vegetables, because dark green leafy vegetables are full of something called phytonutrients or phytochemicals. And what those are active compounds in the vegetables that benefit human health. They're not vitamins themselves, but they do help with your continued well-being. One of the nicest things about this kind of a vegetable is that it's very low calorie. So a cup of chopped kale is a mere 33 calories. It's also loaded with nutrients. Something like 600% of your vitamin K for the day, 200% of the vitamin A you need, and in the case of kale, over 100% of your daily need for vitamin C. So it's also a good source of minerals, copper, manganese, and phosphorus. And on top of it all, most of these even taste good. So what else could you ask for? So, and when we look at these, one of the reasons people tend to shy away from some of these is because they're in the cabbage family, the so-called cruciferous vegetables. And that means if you've ever cooked cabbage, you cook it too long and your house is full of that horrible sulfur smell. Well, you don't need to do that because cooking these does not require a long cooking time as long as you do some of the work before you ever cook them. What you're going to do is you're going to cut away some of the stem. Then you're going to roll it just like this. Sometimes you can roll 2 at once. And you're going to chiffonade, as the chefs would say. I would say cut very, very thinly. And if you're really going to be sensible about it, instead of doing it the way I'm doing it, you're going to roll up a couple of them, get out your food processor, put it in the chute just like this, and you'll have mountains of perfectly shredded collards in an instant. Then steam it lightly, and because you've cut it into such nice thin little strips, it really tenderizes very, very quickly and keeps its beautiful dark green color. Dress it with a little olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper, and you've got yourself an absolutely fabulous main part of the plate vegetable. If you want even a prettier vegetable, how about Swiss chard? Chard has these beautiful ribs, and they'll stay nice and red, look really pretty on the plate. Sometimes you can get chard with yellow and white and red, even better looking. And here we have curly kale, another powerhouse. Now, spinach, and we have some fresh spinach here. Spinach is an interesting one because spinach on its own is pretty fluffy. And people say, oh, I'm going to eat a spinach salad, I'm going to get all my nutrients. One of the problems is, face it, how many leaves of fresh spinach are you going to eat at a time? This whole pile of fresh spinach is actually the same amount as in this one little frozen package, both about 10 ounces. So you can see spinach shrinks incredibly when you cook it. So you have to think about that in terms of portions and the amount of nutrients you're getting. One of the nutrients that's also in all of these is calcium. But you do have to be careful because the calcium in these particular vegetables are also found with oxalates. And oxalates are naturally occurring compounds, and those oxalates will bind the calcium. So you're not going to get the full benefit of the calcium. So for a good dose of phytonutrients, vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C, stick with those nice, healthy, dark green leafy vegetables. I'm Margery Gann, and I'm here for Chef's Table, and thank you for joining me.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the restaurant interview of the Chef's Table Series cooking show. Today I am at the Brickhouse Cafe located at 107 Bridge Street in Dedham. I am here with chef owner Vinny Marino, and we're going to talk about the transformation of his restaurant, talk about his signature dishes. He's not only into food, but he's also into healthy food and staying fit. So Vinny, thanks for being on the segment with me today.
You're welcome.
So I've noticed, as you know, you've been here for how many years now, the Brickhouse Cafe?
As the Brickhouse, it's been 7 years.
Yep. And it's changed a lot. You kind of added on to it,
Right,
I see.
yeah, we added on from the bar over to here. This used to, a year ago, this was a garden.
Right, I remember that. Now, why did you expand?
Well,
what was
the
the need?
reason I expanded is because you couldn't get in. I have people would come all the time, and they couldn't get in. They were friends of mine, and I just felt I had to do something about it. I have this friend from the Erie pub. Every Friday night he would come in, open the door, look in and say, bye-bye, bye-bye. He couldn't get in. So then we went and we did the expansion, and then after we do the expansion, I called him, I said, we got an expansion, come on over. He comes in, opens the door, bye-bye. I can't get in. So now I save him a table.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
yeah. Why do you think why are you so popular? Like, what is it about the Brickhouse Cafe?
I really don't know the answer. I had a place in Rosendale years ago called the Rosendale Pub, and the other bars from the area used to come over there to see what I was doing on a Friday night. You'd come in there and they'd say, what are you doing? And I say, damned if I know. I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you, we're passionate about our food. There's a lot of people are, but I got to tell you, I drink it, think it. I don't sleep at night. I do recipes constantly. Whenever I travel, I see something and I can tweak it and I come up with it.
Yeah. Where do many of your recipes come from? I know they come from you, but
no, the most and the bulk of them are from my mother.
Yeah.
My mother was a very good cook, but very simple, Sicilian. Red tomato sauce and very, very simple. And all of her recipes are very easy, very simple, but good, fresh, quality food.
And Vinny, I know you're into your health, like I am. We both work out. You're into boxing, and you were a former boxer, right? And you still keep that up?
Well, actually, I just got in the ring about 3 or 4 weeks ago with a friend of mine, and I got to tell you, I don't really think it's a wise move for 77-year-old guys to make comebacks. But in this particular instance, I got a little lucky. I caught
Yeah.
him with a real hard left hook in the second round, and goodbye.
So what is your fitness regimen?
Well, my thing is that as I'm older, I exercise more frequently, but less. I do 45 minutes of calisthenics and stretches in the morning. I do a mile during the day.
Yeah.
I swim a half an hour every afternoon.
Wow.
I come in here at night and then I walk another mile. And when I go home, I will punch the heavy bag and lift weights every other day. I lift the weights, but I punch
Yeah.
the heavy bag every night. So I got my little Fitbit.
Yeah, you were
and
telling me about that.
Yeah, and I do my 10,000 plus every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, because you're fit, does that reflect on your menu?
Oh yeah, because I'm a health nut. I started a fast food, health food restaurant chain in the middle 70s, when it was way before the curve.
Yep.
And in 5 years, we were in Dallas, Houston, Austin, Lauderdale, Delray. We had 24 stores
Oh my
in the
goodness.
mid-70s, way before the curve. So I still keep up with it. Even on my menu, I have some dishes that have a heart on it, and it'll tell you the calories
Yep.
and how good they are. You know, and it's one of the first things that I do. How can I make it, every dish
Yep.
that I make, healthier?
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot of multi-grain pastas.
I do.
Right. And now tell me about the dish in front of us. You said this is a new one?
Yeah, well, this is a
Special?
new one. It's called a stack of Sicily.
A stack of Sicily.
On the menu, we just say, don't be embarrassed, just ask. But what it is eggplant, tomato, buffalo mozzarella, layered with some basil on top, and a little balsamic vinegar. It's a very aged, as you can see how thick it is.
Right.
A balsamic vinegar, it's like almost sweet.
Yeah.
But it's delicious.
It looks
it's
it.
good. Yeah.
Can't wait to eat it. As you know, I'm a vegetarian, so
I do. That's why I
definitely-
got it for you. because
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Vinny, you were saying how you don't know why people come here, repeat customers. Do you think it's because of your food, but also you're always here every night, correct?
Well, I'm here every night. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both. You know, I love to walk around and talk to people.
Right, you do.
And I make it a point to try to talk to everybody. And I have the nicest customers, the nicest clientele. You know, over the years, as you know, I've had many restaurants, and this is my 40th restaurant.
40th?
Yeah, 40th. My last
That's
one,
amazing. Your
small
last one?
last one. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, I don't know, maybe it's my memory or what, but it's the best one.
Oh.
It's the people that I got here are just the best. You could go to any table, any night, and talk to anybody. They're just nice people. They are. And my biggest clientele, believe it or not, is West Roxbury.
Oh, really?
West Roxbury, yeah.
Right, well, you're right close by.
Yeah. And then coming down from Westwood, and naturally we have a Dedham following,
Yeah.
you know, but huge West Roxbury clientele, yeah.
Now, not only have you expanded the restaurant and the menu, but you're also offering breakfast now.
We do, and you know, when we first started, we were open at 11 o'clock, and everyone kept saying, you got to open early, you got to open earlier, but it was tough because I was stretched with my health.
Right.
And I was limited. So finally, I got a hold of a good little cook. His name is Patrick. He's in the kitchen. He's a breakfast guy. And he agreed, yeah, okay, I can do it. You know, so he comes in at 7 o'clock, and we opened up at 8 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. And you know, we would do like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 people from 8 in the morning to 5 at night. And it just keeps, every week it's better
getting
and better
bigger,
and
yeah.
better. And last week, we met our goal on what I figured we could do.
Yes.
And now I'm saying, you know what, I got a new goal because we did that so easy,
Yeah.
we can even do more,
Right.
you know? But one of the things that I think in the restaurant business, one of the key things to be successful is having good food at affordable prices.
Exactly.
You know, and no one leaves here hungry.
Right.
No one leaves here hungry. They all may take doggy bags, but no one leaves hungry.
Right. Well, I think that's why your breakfast is growing. I think there's a need in this area for great breakfast places. And I mean, this place is so warm and inviting. And I really think, I mean, I know myself, people come for you too.
Yeah.
They enjoy, like, you when you're in the restaurant, you come by and say hello to them. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, not only do you see your old friends and repeat customers, but you also meet new friends as well.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a day or a week that goes by that I don't meet someone new.
Yeah.
You know, and we hit it off because, you know, one thing about Boston or New England, having lived in Florida for many years, is that if you don't know someone, you're going to know someone who knows someone who knows someone.
Yeah, it's small.
In us, and that we find that. We
Right.
start talking, and believe it or not, almost every conversation ends with, what a small world this is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all connected in
We are.
interesting ways.
We are.
Yeah,
We really are.
definitely. Well, Vinny, thanks for
Yeah.
let me interview you. Every time I speak to you, I learn something new about you and the restaurant and the menu, and I can't wait to dive into this.
Oh, I'm sure you're
And I'm
gonna
sure
enjoy it.
Joe wants to
Yeah.
take the majority of it. Sorry, Joseph.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks for watching. My name is Carol O'Connor, and this has been the restaurant interview of the Chef's Table Series cooking show.
Hey, thanks, Chef, for coming tonight. We're very happy to have you here.
Mr. Needy, it's a pleasure.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Right out of the gate.
Would be normally be using garlic and oil, but I got it in there today. And a lot of guys throw butter in it. I prefer when I don't, but I'll tell you, butter never hurts.
But
and the chicken, you can grill it, you can saute it, you can fry it with breading, so you have chicken and shrimp. Another night, you might want to throw some clams in there. All you got to do is take the clam, put it right in that sauce.
You know, you get a great personality with you, Vinny, all kidding aside.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Oh, my daughter asked me to say
Yeah, right.
that.
Yeah, you were.
The Chef's Table series is shooting on location in cities and towns across Massachusetts. If you would like to suggest your favorite restaurant or attend a live taping of the show, please visit thechefstableseries.tv.